Have you ever imagined living on a massive warship with thousands of people while war rages around you? This is the reality that sailors on aircraft carriers face. These ships are not just floating bases, they are also mobile airports, packed with fighter jets, helicopters, and all the necessary resources to function like a small city. But when war breaks out, what actually happens aboard these ships? Let's explore the intense journey of the sailors with Navy Power Channel, from rushing to combat positions to the moment fighter jets take off, and how complex weapon systems protect the ship from enemy threats. First, let's talk about life on an aircraft carrier. How do you feel about not seeing land for months, even years? With around 6,000 sailors on board, this requires vast amounts of food, water, and ammunition to ensure they can operate for extended periods. Imagine living in a city in the middle of the ocean, with amenities like a gym, movie theater, and even Starbucks. But don't let the comfort fool you, as the living conditions on the ship depend a lot on your rank. Junior sailors often share cramped sleeping quarters and communal bathrooms, while senior officers have private rooms and better amenities. However, the most valuable thing aboard is the sense of camaraderie. Sailors from all over the world come together on this ship, forming close bonds that can last a lifetime. But it's not just about living and working. Did you know that the aircraft carrier operates 24/7, even while you sleep? With hundreds of tasks, from aircraft maintenance to ship operations and emergency response, every sailor must stay highly focused. A moment of carelessness could lead to disaster, especially with the constant threat of war. So, how does an aircraft carrier prepare for war? Preparedness doesn't even begin to describe it. A U.S. Navy aircraft carrier is designed not just to withstand attacks, but to retaliate with overwhelming force. For example, the AN/SPL-1 radar system can track hundreds of targets simultaneously, from missiles to enemy aircraft. Paired with weapon systems like Sea Sparrow or Phalanxes, the ship can eliminate threats from afar, ensuring the safety of the crew and aircraft on board. Moreover, aircraft carriers boast a formidable air wing, including F/A-18 Super Hornets and F-35C Lightning IIs, which provide precise strike capabilities on targets hundreds of miles away. Everything on board is designed to operate like a mobile base, from the ability to produce over 400,000 gallons of fresh water daily to the logistical systems that ensure the ship can operate for months without resupply. This is why aircraft carriers are not just symbols of power, but also floating fortresses, always ready to respond to any threat, anywhere on the ocean. Before the ship sets sail, meticulous preparations are made, from equipping advanced technology to practicing tactics. Did you know that each aircraft carrier is equipped with world-class radar and weapon systems? This is why the U.S. Navy ensures there are no risks. However, missiles aren't the only threats. Enemy forces also use aircraft to enhance attacks, which is where the AN/SPS-48 radar system comes into play. With a range of up to 250 miles, this radar gives the ship's air wing ample time to mount a counterattack. If you were a sailor on this ship, how would you handle these challenges? Would you be strong enough to endure the pressure of constant warfare and life on board? Share your thoughts and leave a comment below this Navy Power video. Imagine being adrift in the vast ocean, where threats come not only from the sky, but also from below the surface. How does the U.S. Navy maintain the upper hand against every threat? One of the secrets lies in the SPS-49 radar system. This system is designed to detect ships and objects on the water's surface with a range of up to 200 miles. This not only helps in detecting dangers in time, but also ensures avoidance of collisions or crowded waters. What do you think? With technology like this, is it hard to lead at sea? But radar alone isn't enough. The U.S. Navy's aircraft carriers are truly floating cities with unmatched power. Looking at the weapons on board, we see the presence of missiles, guns, and even modern torpedoes. One of the standout systems is the Phalanx CIWS, close-in weapon system. Did you know that this defense system can fire thousands of rounds per minute, enough to destroy incoming missiles and aircraft at close range? It's like the last firewall protecting the ship from immediate threats. What do you think? If you were the commander, would you trust this system to protect the ship's fate? Did you know that this automatic gun system can fire up to 4,500 rounds per minute? This wall of fire can eliminate cruise missiles, drones, and even small boats at close range before they can cause harm. According to our research team, the Phalanx CUS is equipped with an incredibly sensitive target tracking radar and operates fully automatically from detection to firing. With its 20mm M61 Vulcan Gatling gun, this system can create a bullet wall so fast it's almost invisible to the naked eye. When it comes to long-range weapons, we can't overlook the Tomahawk cruise missile. This missile can strike targets as far as 1,500 miles away, enough to attack across continents. What's special about the Tomahawk is that it can be launched from various platforms, including surface ships, submarines, and even aircraft carriers. What does that suggest? A weapon that is not only powerful, but versatile, key to maintaining America's superpower status. It's not just about weapons. The aircraft carrier is also the home to the most advanced military aircraft. Imagine standing on the flight deck and witnessing an FA-18 Hornet, a powerful fighter jet with supersonic speed, armed with missiles for air-to-air, air-to-ground, and even bombs. Known as the Rhino, this aircraft conquers the skies and can also carry out ground strike missions. What do you think? In battle, would you choose the Hornet or another type of aircraft? For early threat detection, think of the E-2 Hawkeye, the eye in the sky of the U.S. Navy. With its radar system capable of scanning the entire sky for hundreds of miles, the Hawkeye serves as an early warning shield, helping the aircraft carrier and fleet prepare for any potential danger. The answer lies in the modern communication systems aboard aircraft carriers. One example is the Integrated Voice Communication System, IVCS. This system connects everyone on the ship through phones, radios, and intercoms, even in the most intense combat situations. An aircraft carrier is equipped with over 3,000 phones to ensure smooth communication. What do you think about managing a floating city with that many communication devices? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever wondered what makes the U.S. Navy's aircraft carriers operate so efficiently? It's not just advanced technology, it's also the skilled and well-trained crew. Imagine thousands of people on a massive ship, each with their own role, yet they all work together to run a floating city in the middle of the ocean. And what's interesting is that every one of them goes through a rigorous training program to ensure they're ready to face any scenario, from crises to warfare. Let's start with pre-deployment training. Did you know that each sailor undergoes months of training before stepping foot on the ship? They are taught in classrooms, practice on simulators, and even train at coastal facilities. The training covers a wide range of skills, from basic safety procedures like using firefighting equipment and operating life rafts to handling emergency situations. These skills aren't just theoretical, they're hands-on, because even a small mistake can lead to serious consequences out at sea. Now, let's imagine. What do you think it would be like to navigate a massive ship like an aircraft carrier in harsh weather conditions? It's a challenge that requires not only skill, but also seamless coordination within the entire team. The sailors in the navigation department must be proficient in using advanced radar systems like the ANSPY-1, GPS navigation systems, and even traditional tools like maps and compasses. But that's not all. They also need to be skilled in planning routes to avoid dangerous waters, calculating currents, tides, and weather forecasts to ensure the ship operates safely. As for the engineering crew, they must know how to operate the ship's propulsion, electrical, and air conditioning systems. Everything is designed to keep the ship running at its optimal state. But that's not the end of it. Do you think everyone aboard needs to know how to operate weapons? Yes, every sailor is trained to operate weapon systems, from anti-aircraft guns to interceptor missiles. They also learn how to coordinate with the ship's air wing to launch and recover aircraft in combat situations. Specifically, handling aviation fuel and weapons requires the utmost caution. One small mistake could lead to catastrophic consequences. Another noteworthy point: every sailor must know basic first aid. They are trained to deal with mass casualty situations because in the harsh ocean environment, response time is critical. Have you ever imagined how you'd handle a severely injured teammate in the middle of a battlefield? Finally, all training culminates in strict tests, including written exams, practical tests, and real-world simulations. Do you feel confident that you could pass these challenges to become part of the team aboard an aircraft carrier? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts. How can the entire crew be ready at a moment's notice to face an emergency? This is when the preparation and rigorous training truly get tested. Stay tuned, as the Navy Power Channel will take you through it next. Imagine one ordinary day on an aircraft carrier suddenly turning into a whirlwind of intense activity. Alarm bells ring and sailors rush to their battle stations. On the flight deck, pilots quickly prepare their gear, check the aircraft's weapon systems, and get ready to take off. What do you think it would be like to face this kind of suspense, where everything is hanging on a knife's edge? In the command center, the control tower becomes the focal point, coordinating the takeoff and landing of aircraft. Meanwhile, the ship's defense weapon systems are activated, scanning the horizon for incoming missiles or enemy aircraft. At the same time, the medical team is ready to handle casualties, while the engineering crew continuously checks the ship's systems to ensure everything is running smoothly. They repair, maintain, and ensure the weapon systems are always at peak performance. The command team is just as busy, communicating with other military forces to coordinate a synchronized response. In your opinion, what makes this coordination run so smoothly? In just minutes, aircraft are launched, weapon systems are ready to fire as soon as a threat is detected. Every sailor is in their designated position, some operating radar, others controlling missiles, each of them completely focused. However, even in the most dangerous situations, every sailor follows their assigned tasks without fail. They know that even the smallest mistake could have serious consequences. That's why professionalism and discipline are vital aboard an aircraft carrier. If you agree that this is the epitome of responsibility, leave a 1 in the comments below. When the ship enters combat mode, everything turns into a perfect collaboration. One of the first missions is air defense, using weapon systems like guns and missiles to deal with airborne threats. At the same time, advanced radars and sensors are fully utilized to protect the carrier in every situation. Think about sonar systems, a technology we can think of as the ship's ear. With its ability to detect underwater sounds, sonar not only spots enemy submarines, but also provides accurate data to track and locate them. For instance, the ANSQS-53 system, a type of active and passive sonar, is commonly used on aircraft carriers and escort ships. With a detection range of dozens of miles, it can distinguish between submarines and natural underwater objects. Once a threat is identified, the aircraft carrier can immediately deploy Mk-46 or Mk-54 torpedoes from escort ships or anti-submarine helicopters like the MH-60R Seahawk to eliminate the target. But defense isn't the only mission. The aircraft carrier also takes on offensive tasks, which include launching aircraft to conduct bombing runs, missile strikes, or destroy targets at sea and on land. All of this is coordinated tightly with the command center to ensure the attacks are effective and on target. What do you think about having to defend and attack simultaneously? Could this be the greatest challenge the crew faces? To prepare for the worst-case scenario, the damage control team is always on standby, ready to respond quickly if the ship is hit or encounters a malfunction. Have you ever wondered what allows the U.S. Navy aircraft carriers to remain operational even when under attack? The secret lies in the flawless coordination among specialized teams, such as damage control, firefighting, water damage handling, and the chemical, biological, and radiological (CBR) team. Each team has its own responsibilities, but all work toward the same goal: ensuring the ship is always ready to complete its mission, no matter the challenges. Another vital factor is logistics. Did you know that each aircraft carrier can produce over 400,000 gallons of fresh water every day thanks to its desalination system? This ensures a continuous supply of water for the crew during long deployments that can last for months. Not only water, but the ship is also fully stocked with food, ammunition, and fuel, all managed through a tight supply chain. This preparation allows the aircraft carrier to maintain its combat readiness for extended periods without worrying about running out of resources. But what happens after the battle is over? Do you think everything goes back to normal immediately? The reality is much more complicated. If the situation isn't too severe, the ship's commander will issue a stand-down order, allowing the crew to return to their routine duties. However, if the ship has just undergone a fierce battle, the technical teams will conduct a thorough inspection, from the hull to the weapon systems and other critical components. Any damage must be repaired immediately, as a ship never knows when the next threat will arrive. In more serious cases, if there are casualties, the ship's medical team will continue to treat the wounded, while conducting a comprehensive evaluation to ensure they receive the proper care. Once all inspection, repair, and treatment procedures are completed, the ship will return to its normal operational status, ready to patrol, train, or continue its mission. Now, let's take a step back in history to explore one of the most important wars the U.S. Navy ever participated in, the Gulf War, also known as Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. During this conflict, several U.S. aircraft carriers were deployed to the Persian Gulf, providing air support to ground forces and conducting airstrikes on Iraqi targets. These victories highlight the pioneering role of the U.S. Navy in combat situations at sea. From upgrading operational readiness to preparing sailors and aircraft for battle, life aboard an aircraft carrier during wartime is far from easy. But thanks to dedication, courage, and a strong work ethic, these massive ships not only complete their missions, but also protect the nation. In the proud history of the U.S. Navy, which story impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you're fascinated by the power and cutting-edge technology of these warships, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos about the U.S. Navy on the Navy Power channel. Your support motivates us to keep providing even more high-quality content. Join us as we continue to explore inspiring stories of courage and technological advancement. See you in the next video, where more secrets from the oceans will be revealed.